Hey everybody, Rosematter here. Welcome to part 2 of my Higurashi When They Cry Let's Play. First of all, I want to thank you guys so much for the very enthusiastic and positive reception I got to part 1. Whenever I start a new Let's Play, especially with an older game, I'm never quite sure how it's going to go, but you guys seem very excited about this, which makes me excited to continue, even though this will get scarier and more disturbing, which makes me nervous, but I'm gonna, like I said in the first episode, I'm gonna try my best to get through this for you guys. So, let's continue on and see what happens next. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. And to top it off, that pesky mom of mine pushing a return journey errand on me just as I'm trying to leave the house. Today was the day Rena and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. So thank you guys too for, being forgiving of me for my pronunciations of things. I might mess it up here and there, but I'm going to try my best to do the best I can to pronounce the names properly. Rena and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place.
Kei-chan, osoi zo.
悪い悪い責めるのは昨夜の面白かった特番に行ってくれ
ほう女の子との待ち合わせに遅刻して言い訳がそれってわけ？み
ーちゃんだって今来たばかりなんだよ。
昨夜の密着24時間面白かったしねえ。
She was just as guilty as me. Rena was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Oh, it's the picnic? She said that she wanted to do a picnic, right? That's right, Rena really did make a picnic.
ケイちゃん、あの後レナ大張り切りだったらしいよ。
別に俺がけしかけたわけじゃないだろう。
そんな大変じゃなかったから気にしないでよね。
昨べから今朝まであのテンションらしいよ。責任取れんの？
わかった。俺も男だ。責任は取る。
責任ってなんだろう。
As we both turned around slowly to look at Rena, our gazes drifted downward to the massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Rena we were talking about here.
2キロくらい。
Dang! It's just the three of us, girl?
レナね、荷物持つときよっこらしょって言ってた。5キロ。
それはオーバー。ケイチくん男の子だからきっといっぱい食べるだろうと思ってたくさんね。もう行こう。よっこらよっこ。
Just from the way she was lifting it up, I couldn't believe the only things in there were lunchboxes.
訂正。俺も5キロ。
手伝いはするけど全部食べるんだからね。レナを悲しませたら許さないよ。
The only thing I could do at that moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't even imagine something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies after all. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around.
あ、こんにちは。
こんにちは。あら、そちらは。確か、前原くんだったかしら。
Why does that woman's voice sound so sultry? My two companions exchanged greetings with everyone we ran across. All of these passerbys even knew my name.
なんで俺ってこんなに有名人なんだ？
We passed 3 people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid.
悲しいかな。ひなみ沢は人が少ないからね。みんな顔見知りなんだよね。
つまりなんだ？知らない顔が歩いてれば、それは自動的に新しく引っ越してきた前原さんってことになるわけか。
うん、そういうことになるね。
Oh boy, I feel like I've mentioned this before in another Let's Play. That would be a nightmare, is to live in like a small town where everybody knows your business and everybody knows everybody. I don't care for that. I like being in a big city where you can just kind of keep to yourself and you got your group of people that you hang out with, but other than that, nobody really cares about you. It was a process of elimination you can only pull off in a place like this, but it was quite effective. From now on, I'd better make sure to maintain a good reputation. The day I'm discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lech by the next day. Hinamizawa was not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare.
もちろんわかるよ。最初に会ったのが牧野林店の竹蔵おじさん。趣味は盆栽と尺八なんだよ。
次が乾物屋の次男の大輔くん。趣味は狙撃で、
Oh
将
my
来の夢
god,
は
they
超
literally
永久
know
スナイ
like
パーだと。
everybody's hobbies and everything. Wow.
それで今の人は入江診療所の看護師の美代さん。趣味は野鳥の観察と撮影だって。
すれ違った全員の名前までわかるの、プロフィールまで。
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Seeing my surprise, Mion and Rena exchanged looks and burst into laughter.
まあね。
I keep calling her Mion, but I think it's Mion. Mion. Ah, man. Rena I don't have a problem with, but it's her name that I'm stumbling with.
ここいらは都会みたいにご近所付き合いが希薄じゃないからね。
試しに聞いてみよう。今ここにいる俺は誰だ？
前原圭一くん。意地悪なこと言うけど本当は優しいテレ屋さん。
転校してきてようやく3週間。趣味は昼寝。最近トランクス派に転校。
Oh boy.
したよね。
もういいもういい。
トランクス。
それもいい。
Apparently there's absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with.
これじゃあさ、俺のための案内ってより俺のお披露目みたいだな。
そうだね。うちらさ、これだけ賑やかに練り歩いてたからね。みんな思うんじゃない？ケイちゃんもひなみ沢に馴染んでくれたんだって。
ひなみ沢は過疎だから村中みんなが新しい仲間を歓迎してくれてるの。
I wonder why the population is shrinking. Maybe it has to do with, the horrible things that are eventually going to be happening later on. Like sacrifices or something. Maybe I'm the new guy who's going to be sacrificed to some sort of, old god or something. I thought about brushing it off with something to the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to, again, the same way.
あらこんにちは。仲良しそうでいいわね。
藤島さんちのおばさんだよ。こんにちは。
あら前原くん、両手に花でいいわね。
Why are all the older women in this town? They sound so pervy.
どう？生活はもう慣れた？
Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was.
グッド。
As I looked back over to Rena and Mion, they gave me a wink.
でね、そろそろお昼にしないかな。
Rena's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each other. Didn't
俺
you?
も男だ。
I was gonna say, didn't you guys say that she was a good cook? But I guess it's just I know in some cultures it's considered rude to like not eat all of your food because it implies that like you don't think it's good, so they're just like, oh god, we gotta eat 5 kilos of food.
だが量が多すぎる。
よしケイちゃん、ここはおじさんに任せなさい。
Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative.
レナ、どうせ食べるならさ、見晴らしのいいところで食べない？
それいい。賛成。
Rana nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. Cresting the top of a stone staircase, a shrine drawn straight out of my imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling.
ここはね、古出神社っていうの。
Oh, I'd love to go to just like a small Japanese village and like the shrines and just the countryside, and it just seems so relaxing.
多分見晴らしが一番いいところかな。
ここの場所、よく覚えといてね。もうすぐここでお祭りがあるんだから。
Oh, can't have one of these games without some sort of festival too, right?
へえ、祭りにしちゃちょっと早いシーズンだよな。
綿流しは夏祭りじゃなくてね、昔は冬の終わりを喜ぶお祭りだったらしいよ。
I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer.
さて、弁当を広げてと。
Various colored lunch boxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. Sure did smell delicious. It was Rena's home cooking. It went without saying it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Mion, it'll take more than just a good view to get all this down, you know.
こんにちはです。
Oh, these two. It was Rika-chan and Sadako. Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. I see, this is her secret plan. Power in numbers. You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty.
騒がしいから来てみれば、これは何ですの？
見りゃわかるだろ。これからランチタイムだ。ビュッフェスタイルだ。レナの手作り弁当に舌鼓だ。
そんなの見ればわかるでございますわ。どうして人様の庭でご座なんか広げてますの？
神社は公共の場所だぞ。勝手に独占するな。
圭一の言う通りですよ。みんなのお庭にしますです。
くぅ、やっぱりリカちゃんはいい子だな。座りな、そこ。一緒に食べよう。
After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Sadako.
ちょっとお待ちなさいな。
Hers is another name. I'm like, I hope I'm saying this right.
私はどこに座ればいいんですの？
お前に座る場所はないし、食べる分もない。
大丈夫だよ。さとこちゃんの分もちゃんとあるから。
Okay, it was driving me crazy who Rena reminded me of, and it's, and now I've forgotten her name. The main girl from Card Captors. But without the little pigtails. She looks just like her, and that's all I can see when I look at her. Especially like her little outfit with her little hat.
ない。さとこの分も俺がいただく。
そんなことは許せませんの。リカ。はい、お箸です。
Both Sadako and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other.
いやはや、ケイちゃん乗せるのうまいわ、ほんと。才能あるのかもしれない。
はい、お皿。みーちゃんも、リカちゃんも。
Rena whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates.
僕たちも頑張らないとなくなってしまうです。
そうだね。よし、参戦と行くかな。
いっぱい食べてね。ちゃんとみんなの分あるから。
Rena said as she opened up a thermos. Just then I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different.
いや、肘は反則だろう、サトコ。
Satoko. Okay, so I kind of was saying it
指
right.
首をつかむのも反則でございます。
It was a tough battle, blocking with her full momentum and an elbow in the opening moves. Satoko appeared to have had the upper hand. But the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand.
最後のミートボール。
Meatball! I just love when they like say things in English. It's so cute.
校長サトコ、破れたり。
Or I shouldn't say they say it in English. There might just not be a word in Japanese for it. But either way, I love that when it randomly pops in like a word. I'm like, I understand that word. This is like Doki Doki in that it's very cute and upbeat, and you're just like, how is this gonna turn into a horror game later down the line? And that's what's gonna make it all the more drastic when it does. But like right now, I'm just choosing to revel in the cuteness and try and hold off on the horror as long as possible. Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. I'm also having some trouble reading in general today. Rika-chan patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Rena blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Rena to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. They won't. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh.
日本語ってやつはさ、どうしてこう味に対する賛辞が少ないんだろうな。
食事中の団らんって考えがそもそも近代に入ってからだからじゃない？
昔の人は無言で食事を済ませたそうだし、作る人もちょっぴり寂しかったろうね。きっと昔の人は食べるのに忙しくて味を褒める暇もなかったのですわ。
That's just you.
でもね、美味しいの一言だけでも嬉しいよ。苦労の甲斐があったかなって。
She blushed a little as she said that.
美味しいです。
With absolute perfect timing, Rika-chan struck Rena directly with praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence. It's this cute little girl, Rika. She's gonna be behind all the horrible things that are gonna happen later on. It's always the cutest ones you gotta watch out for.
Huh?
After Rena uttered an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke rose from her head with an audible poof.
リカちゃん、お持ち帰りじゃなくて、ありがとう。本当に美味しかったですよ。
Rena flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika-chan and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it.
リカちゃんには褒めてもらったお礼に、じゃーん、これをサービスね。
Two apple rabbits. After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them towards Rika-chan. After Rika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way.
なんだよサトコ、その挑戦的な目は。
皆さんにはレナさんのリンゴを獲得できるだけの賛辞が用意できまして。
強気じゃんよ。ごきゃ品のあんたにどんな賛辞が思いつくっての？
ではご覧遊ばせ。
After Satoko flashed Mion and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly.
レナお姉ちゃんのお弁当、サトコも美味しかったよ。
Satoko looked up at her poutedly while talking cutesy. What? How is that praise? That's not even persuasion by tears. That's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is a Rena limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Rena. Of course, I was asking for the impossible. Rena glommed Satoko and began rubbing her cheeks against her. Swish. Stab. Push. Sadako was also presented with apple rabbits. I'm not sure what apple rabbits are. Is that an actual thing? I'm assuming so. After stuffing them in her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me again with that defiant gaze. Is that like an apple that's made to look like a rabbit? Or is that like a candy? It took only 5 seconds to take down Rena. That's unfair, to think she had such a trick.
悔しければレナさんにご褒美がもらえるような30億円が遊ばせ
Damn it! That was a dirty trick. First of all, that wasn't even praise.
さとこ、それで勝てたつもりとはね。
Well, whatever, you guys have cuteness, but my character has pure, like, male hotness, I suppose. The way that Rena reacts to her. Or to him, I should say. The power of hormones, that's what I've got.
あんたらの底の浅い技とはわけが違うものを見せてあげようじゃない。
それは頼もしいぜミオ。それはどんな技なんだ。
やるのはケイちゃん。
Of course, yep.
見せてもらおうではございませんか豊島のあがきを
The plan of attack she suggested was wicked, but it was the only thing we had to beat Sadako. After sipping my tea, I started talking very naturally and calmly. Perfectly.
本当に美味しいよな。これってさ、全部手作りなのかい？
実はね、これほとんど冷凍物なの。
じゃあ、レナの手作りのってどれだい？
その恥ずかしいな。教えなきゃダメ？どうしても？
From the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression had melted into euphoria. Also, I'm sorry if I skip ahead a little bit because they're speaking Japanese. I'm not actually sure what she's saying or when she's finished talking.
わかるよ。これでしょ。
Rena turned an even deeper shade of red, the words "I can't believe it" practically written on her face.
なんでわかるかな？レナの手作り。
Of course, Mion had told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher.
レナの
Oh god.
匂いがしたから。
Oh god. Silence enveloped the area. Rena, face still completely red, froze solid. It is like a finisher in a fighting game. With a small yelp, Sadako also blushed. Of course, I did too.
レナの手作りのリンゴのウサギさんが食べたいな、なんて。
Even if it was all because I was competing against Sadako, I felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. Then at that moment... Whoosh! It was a Tupperware container filled with... She just tosses it at his head. Just take it. Yeah.
食べてね、ケイチ君。いっぱいあるんだよ。
Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over.
はい、
Oh god.
ケイチ君。
He says... Yeah, she's gonna kill you if you keep this up, just messing with her emotions like this. My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even more apples were shoved into my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced in my mouth. More and more apples. How about them apples, Sadako? Looks like we win.
ケイちゃん、殉職見事なり。どうよ、さとこ。うちらの完全勝利だね。
こんな手信じられないですの。悔しくないもん。
Sadako ground her teeth, mortified. We did it. I claim victory as my consciousness drifts slowly away from me. At that time, Rena stopped her squealing and she suddenly realized, poor girl, she's just like, I'm that easily played by people.
リコちゃん、食べないの？塩水強すぎたかな？
Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do.
うさぎさんがかわいそうです。助けてあげてほしいです。
Oh, no, don't add blood sound effects for that. I don't know if it's just her having a nosebleed, but that seems very out of place. That was the sound of, of blood spurting from Rena's nose.
かいいよ。今夜こそ絶対本持ち帰り。
See, if this wasn't a teenage girl saying that, I will take you home, it would seem very wrong. It still seems kind of wrong, especially because she's talking to children. She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then coming back to her senses, she took all the apples around me, gathered them up with a flip, and fixed them back up onto a plate.
これでみんな寂しくないよね。これリカちゃんにあげる。ね。
Rika-chan raised up Sadako's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbit shoved to her. She whispered,
僕たちが勝ちましたです。
Rana's gonna kill all these bitches. She's gonna finally snap, being like, I'm so sick of you guys just like playing me like a fool. Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. Okay, I'm assuming this isn't the end of the chapter already, is it? Okay, because I was like, I did some research to see how long it was. I always like to do that with my games that I play. So they say this one could be from anywhere from like 6 to 10 hours. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
じゃあね、レナにケイちゃん。また明日ね。
ミオ、今日はありがとな。楽しかったぜ。
また明日ね。
Sadako and Rika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mion, and it ended with just Rena and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home.
ケイチくんも今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう。楽しかった？
ああ、楽しかった。まだ家に帰るのが惜しいくらいだぜ。
あ、じゃあさ、ちょっとだけ寄り道してもいいかな？
寄り道？遠いのか？
ちょっと歩くけどすぐ済むから。
Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Rena, I quietly nodded. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper. Oh, Rena, you shouldn't have. It's so romantic.
今日は久しぶりだから。
Oh, don't tell me she goes like trash diving?
久しぶりって、レナのようは。
Oh god, she does too.
ゴミの山かよ。
ゴミじゃないよ。
Oh, she's a hoarder? She hoards cute small children and animals and garbage? I don't want to go visit her home is what I'm saying.
レナにとっては宝の山だもん。
All the food she gave us was she just grabbed it out of the trash piles. Rena had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. So that means there was something cute here?
わあ、新しい山だ。ワクワク、ワクワク。
She descended the unstable slope with ease. I'd expect no less from a born and bred country girl. Nice, implying all country girls just dig through
おい、
trash.
待てよ。今行くから。あったたたた。
My city-raised self was completely pitiful.
いいよ、ケイチくんはそこにいて。すぐ済むから。
Rena kindly declined my accompaniment. Jesus, sorry guys, I'm having a real hard time with words
転
today.
ぶなよ。足元に気をつけろよ。
Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Rena disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rena around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to someone's presence. Startled, I turned around. Oh, a new person! A fellow guy! Finally, it's just been girls! Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case.
おっと、びっくりした。
A little startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line.
驚いたのはこっちですよ。
ごめんごめん。驚かすつもりはなかったんだ。君はひなみ沢の人かい？
I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting.
僕は富武。
Oh boy. Tometake? Oh boy.
フリーのカメラマンさ。ひなみ沢にはたまに来るんだ。
I didn't ask you who you were.
写真ってのは被写体に断ってから撮るのが礼儀なんじゃないんすかね。
ごめんごめん。メインは野鳥の撮影でね。断った試しがないんだよ。
So what, you're saying I'm the same as the birds?
いやいや、夕闇に黄昏る少年があまりにも絵になっていたんでね。本人の許可を取らずにファインダーを覗いたことを謝
He
り。
just likes taking pictures of teenage boys, like, just hiding amongst the garbage. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. Now that I know, like, this game is kind of like more than meets the eye, I'm just assuming the worst of everybody that I meet. But this older guy, Tomatake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
ケイチくん、待たせてごめんね。もう終わりにするから。
Rena popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hands.
連れがいたのかい？
Oh, he's like, I was hoping you'd be alone. That's what I wanted to know.
さあね、昔起こった殺人事件の死体でも探してるんじゃないですか。
Tomatake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh, I responded like I would if I was talking with Rena and the others.
嫌な事件だったね。
Oh, here we
まだ
go.
見つかってないんだろ。
Here we go. We're kind of getting into it a little bit here.
ケイチくんお待たせ。待ったかな？
It was Rena who killed the person, and he's like, I've come to just look at the body and just check in, see how it's doing.
馬に蹴られる前に退散するかな。驚かせてすまなかったね、ケイイチ君。
Tomatake-san chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
ケイチくん怒ってる？どうしてだろう？
It wasn't Rena's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now.
どうだった？掘り出し物は見つかったか？
聞いて。あのね、あったの。ランディ君人形。
ランディ君人形？ってあれか？ファーストフードの店の前に必ず置いてあるあの等身大人形の？
Colonel Randy. Took me a second to realize what that's a reference, because I've heard that KFC is actually quite popular in Japan.
そう、ランディ君。かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but, well, she seems to want it.
あれはゴミだろ。お持ち帰りしたきゃしてもいいんだぜ。
他の山の下敷きになってるの。簡単には掘り出せないし、 あそこ明かりがないからすぐ暗くなっちゃうし。
Rena seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back.
俺も手伝ってやるよ。今日のうまかった弁当の恩返しってことでさ。
ありがとう。
Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us.
ケイチくんが手伝ってくれる。ラディくんをお持ち帰りできる。はう。
Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state.
なあレナ、あそこで昔なんかあったのか？
ダムの工事をやってたんだってね。詳しく知らないけど。
例えばさ、工事中になんかあったとか、事故とか。
Oh boy.
知らない。
Oh, don't say that with a smile. She did it. She did it. Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression.
実はね、去年までよそに住んでたの。
え、レナも転校生だったのか？俺はてっきり。
だからね、それ以前のことはよく知らないの。ごめんね。
Mm-hmm. Don't really know, don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. I am so nervous for when the horror stuff starts happening. Thinking about it, of course, it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. I still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitake said, and I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Damn site murders. We got a couple of things here. Well, let's check them out.
ケイちゃんってさ、
なんだよ突然。俺がいつ高級車で登校したよ。
月の小遣いはいくらもらってる
1000円。
あら、結構小市民的ですのね。お弁当のおかずも普通ですよ。お金持ちじゃないです。
What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get, and then told that's a plebeian amount?
ごめんね、ごめんね。
Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
ケイちゃんちってさ、すっごく大きいでしょ。だから建築中からひなみ沢中で前原屋敷って呼ばれて注目の的だったんだよ。
Maybara Manor?
あんなに大きいお家だからどんなお金持ちなのかなってみんなで噂し合ってたの。
I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
私の推理ではお家を建てるのにお金をかけすぎて貧乏になってしまったと考えてますのよ。貧乏でかわいそうかわいそうです。
Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar.
諸君らの楽しい想像をぶち壊すようで悪いが、うちは金持ちでも貧乏でもないぞ。極めて平均的な普通の家庭だ。
あれだけ大きな家は普通とは言わないって。しかも玄関は立派で門は大型車も入れるようになってるし、絶対普通じゃないって。
They do say the bigger a house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people and cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is one from the studio, or for the studio, and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
ぜひ今度ケイちゃんの家を探検してみたいよな。お金持ちじゃないと主張しながらもあの邸宅。 一体何が隠されているのか。
いいものが隠されてるといいな。きっと家具を買うお金もなくなってて殺風景な部屋がいっぱいなのですわ。絨毯のお部屋ならぜひゴロゴロしてみたいですよ。それいいね、それいいね。レナもゴロゴロしたい。
Seems like their imaginations are just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around the studio. The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Alright, here's the one I'm a little nervous about / interested, is this whole murder incident. Oh, it changed dramatically between the first one and this one, from the June 1979 edition. The Shishibone City oh boy. Okay. The Shishibone City Okinomiya Police Station, June, late at night. Suspects were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. At 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. X. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. Alright. Well, there's a little something there. I still have a bad feeling about Rena, especially, you know, the way she reacted when I asked if she knew anything about, you know, what happened. And I don't know if I necessarily believe that she only moved into town a year ago. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And now we're back to happy. Colonel Randy? Oh wait, no, I'm not supposed to be doing the voiceovers. Bah. Every once in a while it's gonna slip in because I can't help it. I read them off instinctively.
レナがサトコやリカちゃんをお持ち帰りしたくなるのはわかる。
But I know that the episodes or the chapters are quite long, so if I read it after they say it, it would take twice as long and it would just take forever.
だが、ランディ君人形だけは理解できないぞ。あんなメガネ親父のどこがいいんだ。
そりゃあレナに直接聞けばいいじゃん。どうせだって可愛いんだもんしか言わないだろうけどさ。
レナはよくあそこ工事現場のとこへ宝探しに行くのか？
ちょくちょく見に行くって言ってましたです。
I'm so convinced that the body is there and she's like obsessed with looking at the body or something. And she thinks it's so cute. Maybe she like has a bunch of like cute things. Maybe she's killed them and like turned them into taxidermy things so that she can always have them and they're always around.
しかし、年頃の女の子がゴミあさりね。
レナが楽しいならいいんだと思いますです。
あそこはなんだよ。ダムの工事現場だったのか？
It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
何年か前に中止になっちゃったけどね。
みんなで力を合わせて戦いましたです。
Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Riga-chan's mouth startled me.
そうそう。何しろとんでもない話だったんだよ。ひなみ沢が丸ごとダム湖に沈むことに一方的になってさ。
So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded.
ごめんね待たせちゃったかな申し訳ありませんわねケイチさん。お化粧直しに時間をかけちゃいまして。
さとこ、便所には溜めてから行け。一気に出せて楽で早いぞ。
Okay.
花も恥じらう乙女になんて口の利き方。
Yeah, she is a child. Don't talk to her like that. Who is she calling a maiden? If Sadako really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. Either way, dude, you, a teenage boy, should not be talking to like an 8-year-old about that kind of stuff. I don't know, it's just weird. The usual hijinks ensued.
さてと、今日は快速に乗っ取り部員の諸君に是非を問いたい。彼前原圭一君を新たな部員として我らの部活動に加えたいのだがいかがだろうか。
レナは異議なし。近隣風情が私の相手を務められるかしら。僕もサトコも賛成しますですよ。
The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
全会一致。おめでとう前原圭一君。君に栄えある我が部への入部試験を許可する。
順を追って説明しろ。俺はまだ入るとは言ってないぞ。何の部活だ？
我が部はだな、複雑化する社会に対応するため活動ごとに提案される様々な条件下、
This isn't a club, this is a cult.
時には順境、あるいは逆境からいかにして。
レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。レナさんは甘えてますわ。弱い者は食い尽くされるのが世の常なのでございますわよ。
This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it?
つまりみんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活なのです。
Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pert response. So basically, this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day, it seemed that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. Oh, maybe this is where the dark stuff will happen.
ままごと遊びみたいなレベ
Who
ル
knows
じゃ
what
ない
these
からね。
penalties will be?
一生いっぱいに命がかかってる
Oh,
くらい本
as
気で
if
かか
your
った方がい
life
い。
depends on it.
楽しくやれればいいじゃないか。そう凄むなよ。
快速第一条、狙うのは1位のみ。遊びだからなんていういい加減なプレーは許さない。
快速第2条、そのためにはあらゆる努力をすることが義務付けられておりますのよ。
The way Sadako said it, it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary.
もちろん僕も頑張りますです。レナも弱いけどね、精一杯頑張ってるの。
I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everyone is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun.
よし、俺も本気でやってやるぜ。
With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club.
ケイちゃんに一応忠告ね。レナも結構えげつないからね。
Oh boy. And this was the worst decision he could have possibly made. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around the student lockers to the back of the room. They have the games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
難しいゲームはケイちゃんだけに不利だからね。今日は誰にでもわかるゲームにしよう。スタンダードにトランプのじ抜きはどう？
よし、受けてやるぜ。
やっぱり罰ゲームがないと思えないよね。今回はビリに顔面落書きの刑。どう？
Drawn on with knives. I'm just always assuming the worst is gonna happen.
油性じゃないよね。油性じゃないよね。
Permanent? She wants to draw on our face with permanent marker?
上等でございますわ。
Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's gonna be like this, then I can't lose either.
じゃあカード切ってみんなに配るね。
Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. Well, I don't know card games very well, so I don't even know what either of those games are, to be honest. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game.
じゃあ1枚抜くね。
Okay, I'm liking this music, but it seems a little much for a card game, but... Mion took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everyone stared at the card intently.
ま、終盤になればおのずとわかるし、最初はどうしようもないよな。
But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be.
このトランプ、まさかみんなにはその傷でそこに伏せたカードが分かってる？
快速第2条ですわ。圭一さんも勝つために最善の努力をなさいませ。いくつかのカードは特徴的だから圭一くんにもすぐ覚えられるよ。
She said that so matter-of-factly.
上等だぜ。この程度でハンデになると思うなよ。
I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. This was a test? Then they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it. I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed. Oh, her laugh is so creepy.
ケイちゃんの手札を右から言うぜ。3、4、9、ジャック、クイーン。
ちなみにジジはダイヤの J なのです。どうカードを入れ替えたって見え見えですわ。上がりですな。
I thought I was prepared but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming.
鬼だ。こいつらは鬼だ。レナは鬼じゃないよな。
ごめんね圭一くん。こっちがハートの3だよね。上がり。
Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water. Let's have this not turn into a battle royale situation for real though, okay? I can already picture their joys as they hunted down each of their classmates.
ポイントは減点制ね。着順がそのままマイナス点。トータルで一番少ない人が優勝。
では圭一はビリなので5です。
There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard.
やっぱりさ、綺麗なトランプでやらないと圭一くんに不公平だよ。
いいのいいの。ケイちゃんだって男だし。これくらいの逆境は跳ね返せるよね。
貧民風情は逃げ帰って涙で枕を濡らすのがお似合いでございますことよ。
A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's.
ファイトオーです。
Thanks to Rika-chan's word of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I can muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi, Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rena said, several of the cards have their own distinct markings, making them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
うわ、うまいよケイチくん、その調子。
I cover the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in a way that they couldn't be seen.
角が割れているのは5だったはずです。上がりましたです。
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me.
欲しいのは7なんだが、これかな。
さーてどうかしら。聞いてみないとわかりませんことよ。
There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me.
見えた。これだ。
Got it. 7 of spades. A cheer of ooh rang out.
なんですって7は一番わかりにくいはずですのに。
It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough.
ほらケイちゃん隠さない。この傷が確かダイヤの2だったよね。あれ
She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too.
ああ、みーちゃんがカード間違えるなんて珍しいね。
違うケイちゃんあんたまさか。
They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. So, I put a new one on it. Alright there, Phoenix Wright, calm down.
偽装したというですの。味な真似をするでございますわ。ケイチ、一矢報いましたです。や
Clap, clap, clap.
ったねケイチくん。大前線だよ。
Having defeated the Forerunner Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves.
まあビリは確定だけどさ。最後にミオンから1本取れたから大満足かな。
That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory.
この回仮にケイちゃんが1着になってもトータルビリが確定するんだけど。
当たり前だ。
Oh, sorry, I did it again.
一騎打ちしようよ。ワンチャンス。勝てたらケイちゃん1位で私ビリの大逆転。なんてどう？乗るでしょ？
I was like, why wouldn't he? He has nothing to lose here. She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it.
ワンチャンスだと。ルールを説明しろ。
Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, and shuffled the resulting hand behind her back.
右手のカードと左手のカード。どっちがジョーカーか当てたらケイちゃんの勝ち。
今後ろに回した時ジョーカーを抜いたってことはないだろうな。
ケイちゃんが負けたら反対の手のカードも公開するよ。それなら OK でしょ。
The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events.
よし乗ってやる。
I was like, if you're gonna do this, she should like have some sort of thing like there's no downside to me doing this. So she should be like, if I win, you have to get your face drawn on and then something else on top of it. Mion grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was.
どっちだろう。ケイチくん、慎重にね。
ああもちろんだぜ。逆転の大チャンスだ。
Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before.
あのカードは。
I didn't let that bit from Sadako slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Sadako's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant it definitely wasn't the Joker.
ケイちゃんは右のカードを疑ってる。じゃあ右にする？右？
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card on the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide basically on Sadako's reaction? More carefully. Oh, I remember now. That mark, the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs.
きっとクローバーの7だね。
I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. This is so intense right now. And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. She's playing me. Knew it'd be too easy.
さすがミオンだよ。
There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker.
ケイイチさんは何を言ってるのでございましょう。だって左 C です。
へえ。ケイちゃんはどうして右がジョーカーじゃないって確信できるの？
Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled.
右のカードが何かは俺にもわからないさ。だが左のカードがクローバーの7だってことだけはわかる。
じゃあ残る右のカードがジョーカーなのじゃありませんかと？必ず左右どっちかがジョーカーという約束でしょ？
ああ、左右のどっちかにジョーカーがあるのは本当だろうな。
ケイイチは勘がいいです。リカちゃん、それってどういう？
つまりさ、クローバーの7はさっき俺がサトコのスペードの7と合わせて捨てたカードなんだよ。
Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile.
つまりミオンは捨て札を1枚拾って左のカードに重ねている。つまり
そうか、わかった。左のカードをクローバーの7に見せかけているんだね。
It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly.
ジョーカーは左手だ!
It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion.
初代部長として私も様々なプレイングを見てきたけど、ケイちゃん、あんたはベストオブザベストオブザベスト。
That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give me. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
リカちゃんか？
Rena and Sadako gaped at us, as if they had seen a ghost.
なんだよレナ。別に俺はインチキしてないだろ。先生堂々と。
リカは慰めるときにしか
Oh.
頭を撫でませんの。
Okay. Oh, what's the meaning of... At that moment, Rena let out a small shriek. Uh-oh.
ケイイチ君、こんなことって。
ケイちゃんならさ、ここまで読んでくれると思ってたよ。
Oh, she was like 5 steps ahead. Everyone froze. No, it was just me.
賭けだった。ケイちゃんがおてんばさんの早とちりだったなら、負けてたのは私だった。
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
ケイちゃんはさ、この負けを誇っていいよ。
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
部長園崎美音の名において前原圭一あんたの我が部への入部を許可する
As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat.
これにて決着本日の優勝は私園崎美音栄えあるビリは前原圭一
Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I feel like I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
みーちゃんが後ろ手で細工した時またやるんだって思ってドキドキしちゃった。圭一さんが正解に触れる直前で止まった時に若かったって思いましたわ。見事に引っかかってくれましたです。
Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly.
楽しくなるようにみんなで盛り上げましたですよ。
You.
お前らみんな鬼だ人手なし
It's funny, he keeps calling them demons. Maybe they are demons.
ケイちゃんに
Maybe that'll be the twist.
今日は部活の初日だしねソフトに行こうかねいきなり登校拒否になられちゃ困るし
The other three members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's a giant permanent one.
さーて行くよ
She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized.
やめろ
I let out my death throes. Well, considering, where this game is probably gonna go, he should count himself lucky that that's all she did. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Randy that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence.
宝の山か捨ててる連中もまさかレナに感謝されてるとは夢にも思わないだろうね
Mountain of treasure meeting that damn construction site from before. Oh right, Mion would probably tell me. Oh, he's gonna... yeah. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there.
あそこさダムの工事現場なんかあったんだろ昔
そりゃあったよ戦いが
Everyone's skirting around it, huh?
座り込みやったりデモをやったり
It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same.
自分たちの土地がダム湖に沈むんだもんな俺だって戦うだろうな
役人どもは本当に一方的だった偉そうで威張ってた金で解決できないと悟るとあらゆる嫌がらせをしてきたんだよいやらしい奴らだった
Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her.
よく勝てたな相手は国だろ
村長や村の有力者たちがね方々に陳情した東京にも行ったしいろんな政治家に根回しもしたそうしてるうちに計画は撤回されたんだよ私たちの完全勝利だった
暴力沙汰とかにはならなかったのか傷害事件とか殺人
なかった
She promptly cut me off. It's like everyone in the town doesn't want to talk about it. The same as Rena had. The only guy who is willing to talk about it is the guy who isn't from Hinamizawa, the photographer. Tomatake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
じゃあねまた明日ねケイちゃんそれうちに帰るまで消しちゃダメだからね
分かってるよ消さねえよ
Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion, you shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going all out. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad.